So every yoga posture has a skeletal arrangement that is ideal. Now the ideal is personal at any given point in time. It depends on where you have tensions at that moment. So it will change in subtle ways from day to day, from hour to hour sometimes. We look for that better skeletal arrangement by trying to relax and still be there. So it's a simple practice, though it's not easy, because you have to pay attention to yourself very, very closely. Let go of that, please. Open your eyes. Walk around just a little bit. Why the walking? Because if you can stay relaxed and still walk around, then your walking will be better. And the difference can get glued to yourself a little bit more thoroughly. And I want to find out if there are any questions, comments, observations about this. Yes?
So if I try to relax my breathing when I'm standing, I have to relax my abdomen, which feels like I don't want to do that because it makes my stomach
feel bigger. Yeah. Well, no one's looking at you when you're doing it.
That's true. I did it anyway.
Right?
But
yeah.
I had a little resistance.
Yeah. It's an emotional thing, and it's based on our society, and you can free yourself from it. And then you have greater freedom, which is one of the actual goals of yoga. And so thank you for sharing it, because it's very important. People will have all sorts of restrictions that are emotionally based, not physically based. On top of the physical. Other things. Okay. So, skeletal arrangement is very, very important if you want to do yoga well and if you want to be very strong. Now, if you go to a gym or a personal trainer and stuff, they will arrange you for the best skeletal arrangement because it's safe and all sorts of other things. In my opinion, it's much better if you find it by yourself. Because maybe you have a tension that your trainer doesn't know about. That's going to mess things up in a royal way. And you can sense it and adjust. By the way, your body will try to get rid of these extraneous tensions in its attempt to have a better skeletal arrangement. And why that is, that's for an official full-length training, because the explanation is long. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do some push-ups. Now, we're not going to try and do military-style push-ups today. But those of you who can already do them are welcome to do that. What we're looking at, okay, and again, I'll do a demonstration simply because it's easier. It's easier to do than say. I should ask Yoel to be doing these, but because he's been practicing doing push-ups, but I don't know how to operate the camera. Now, what we're looking at is a goal. Okay, for some of you it's far into the future. For some of you, you're so close that in 5 minutes you'll be able to do it. I don't know where you are. But I did this, what I was leading you through with the chair, I led a bunch of women fitness trainers in push-ups. And they all got better in like 10 minutes. And they didn't understand how that was happening. It's sad because they should. So what we have is a general gist, a goal, to be hanging on the toes in the back and on the hands in the front in a plank that's like this. Okay. and then lower ourselves to a plank that's just off. This is Chaturanga Dandasana. Right? And then climb back up. And that's what we want to do. Now in yoga, we want to be able to stay here comfortably for a long time. And that requires a very, very, very good skeletal arrangement, which most people don't have. And so we want to build that first. If we improve the skeletal arrangement, then musculature is available for movement, and then we can move and do the stuff that we want to be doing. Does the process make sense? Do you have a question about that process? Okay. One more little detail, which is the better the skeletal arrangement, the more you become your fitness twin. Okay, rather than yourself. And so, in other words, it will become easier to do. Even if you can't do it today fully, completely, halfway, you can do only a tenth of it. The tenth will become easier to do. And you can use that to do another tenth, and then you'll be able to use those 2/10 to do another eighth, and so on. Okay? So we're not looking to succeed today, we're looking to improve today. And this is what we are after. Okay? Most of the time, the best way to start, well, this is the same as this, except with the knees lifted. So we can start this way. Okay? And what we want to do, whether your toes are bent or flat, that's totally up to you. You can switch as often as you like. What we want to do is start lowering the face and the chest towards the floor and come back up. So instead of bending the knees like we did in the chair, we're bending the elbows to do that, okay? So, give it a try, okay? If you can arrange yourself on the hands and the knees, and just start lowering just a little bit, because we are looking to lower and return, rearrange the hands, rearrange the knees, rearrange the feet, so that the second repetition is a little bit easier to do, because we are looking for ease.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Are your elbows going out or?
Yes, they are going out or staying near the body, wherever is most comfortable.
Okay.
Okay, it's a strange guideline,
Okay.
comfort,
Okay.
but it's superior to all others.
Okay.
For you, you can do stuff like that actually against the wall. Right? You're standing here, right? And it's the same motion, but so much less weight. Okay? So you do just a little bit and return. Don't force anything. Rearrange then the hands, the knees. Breathe. Okay? And let go of that and sit or stand or whatever you like. Just don't lean on your hands for a little bit. I want to find out if there are any questions, because there was one very good question already, which is, where do the elbows go? Do they go to the outside or are they right next? Okay? And the answer is, we begin with the easiest direction. Later we can make it harder. Harder is every place that's not the easiest direction. Okay? But we want to start with the easiest because we want to develop our knowledge of how to do the movement. Other questions? Yes?
So it's not better for the skeleton to have your elbows close to your,
No.
as opposed to?
Well, it's better for your skeleton. If your skeleton was separated from you and had no damage or injuries, then maybe yes. But for you, right, it depends. Maybe you had shoulder surgery and you need to put it in a peculiar direction that's different than the other in order to make it even possible to do. So you have to cater to your body's current limitations, and your body will respond by improving itself. Okay? And I had a yoga student. She was doing a forward bend. There was something wrong with her back, with her shoulder. I don't even remember because it was 20 odd years ago. And so here we are doing the forward bend, and she puts her hands here, and her shoulder hurts. So I told her, change until your shoulder doesn't hurt. So she ended up here. Okay? Now, according to the books, this is wrong. And what you should do is insist. According to Sugi Yoga, comfort comes first. And so she did it like that, and I completely forgot about it. And then a few months later, I see her and she's in the middle. So I say to her, what's going on? She says, well, my shoulder doesn't hurt anymore. That's the right process. She altered yoga. Well, this posture, right? She altered the posture to accommodate her body's needs. The response of the body and the yoga, or the practice of yoga, was to heal it. Now that it's healed, there's no restriction from doing it the way it is, quote, supposed to be, end quote. Okay? So we vary the yoga postures and movements and so on to accommodate our current state. And then yoga heals us, and then we can do it book perfect.
I have a limitation. I can't